Hey everybody, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. I am back today talking about new additions to my collection, some digging I've been doing here locally and also in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I was in Ann Arbor about a month ago and I picked up a couple things of note that we'll talk about. And I have the same mantra that I have always talked about, and that is just being sure that if you have a local circuit of places that you check for used records, you need to go there once a week. You need to keep in touch with the owners or the people behind the front desk, at the cashier, ingratiate yourself. And, you might get little birdies that whisper in your ear saying that they've just taken in some interesting things, and you might want to maybe show up on Monday after they've had time to price everything, etc., etc. So I'm going to run through some exciting new additions to the collection right after my intro. One of my favorite shops is in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm not going to actually name it in the video, but those who have watched some of my other videos could probably make an educated guess. Hint, it's not far from the Colorado State University campus. Anyway, I was in there recently and they told me that they were going to be having a special sale on an upcoming Saturday, and that they had recently acquired an entire collection from an expat British gentleman who, what I can gather, is he used to be in the military, moved to America, brought his entire record collection, including original UK pressings, and for whatever reason, he was moving somewhere else in the United States and decided to offload his vinyl collection. So I showed up as I was tipped off, and got there pretty early on the Saturday. And the first thing that I saw and that I ended up purchasing was an original UK press of New Order's Low Life. Of course, this has got Perfect Kiss and Love Vigilantes on it. This is on that iconic, very plain white label, Factory Records. This thing sounds amazing. The other cool thing about this pressing, the original pressings had an entire obi strip of rice paper over the cover. And this thing is nearly intact. There's a little bit of a tear here on that corner, but that is super cool. And I have trying to figure out where to hold this thing. I've got a different kind of a background here today. I wanted to switch things up a little bit. But anyway, I'm thinking there's too much background light because I have a window back there. But you tell me in the comments if you think this is overblown or if it looks good. Anyway, I will say that this album sounds incredible. And I am super pleased. This was the third album, of course, from New Order, moving more into synth and electronic based music. It is a fine album, and so happy to have an original UK press on that Factory label. That is the 1985 release from New Order, Low Life. There was another original pressing, a UK pressing, that I was not going to leave in that shop that day, and that is Bowie's Heroes. This is the original press on the RCA, that gold label, mastered at Sterling. This thing sounds incredible as well. I've got a reissue from 1980 on the black RCA label, a US press. This thing beats it hands down. Just more punch. Really, really nice clarity as far as the soundstage is concerned. What an iconic album, the most popular, the most accessible from the Berlin years. That's Heroes, an original UK press, now joining the collection here at the University of Vinyl Graduate Library. I mentioned I was recently in Ann Arbor, Michigan visiting some family. It was about a month ago. I love Ann Arbor, used to live there myself. Well known for a pretty vibrant used record scene. They did lose an iconic store that closed recently over the last couple of years. But there is still plenty to go around. And I was at Wazoo Records, which is on State Street, just a stone's throw from the Diag at the University of Michigan campus, and found this great, great, great debut album from Indigo Girls. This is Strange Fire. The story on this album, this was actually pressed and released in 1989. They originally put out Strange Fire in 1987 on an independent Canadian label, and after their self-titled 89 album kind of hit big on college radio, they signed to Epic, and Epic decided they're going to reissue this record, which they did, and they kind of switched up the song order apparently from the original Canadian indie release. And they also recorded a cover song, The Youngbloods Get Together, and that is an incredible take on that classic song. Indigo Girls, they're an essential act, I think, that you need to have in your collection. At least get the 89 self-titled release. That's an incredible album. But you can definitely tell they were onto something. They were onto something big. In 87 when most of this album was recorded and released. Strange Fire is a fantastic song. I love Land of Cannon. You'll never go to an Indigo Girls concert without them playing Land of Cannon. That's the closing song on side 2. Indigo Girls is comprised of Amy Ray and Emily Saliers, and Emily is more in the Joni Mitchell camp. She is a classical trained musician, incredible acoustic guitar player, with kind of an angelic, really nice voice, and very kind of she's more on the introspective spectrum as far as, let's say, folk singers are concerned. Meanwhile, on the other side of the equation, we've got Amy Ray. I love Amy. She has got an incredible grit and timbre in her voice, and she attacks an acoustic guitar like she is a punk rocker, and I think that's where a lot of her influences lie. I read somewhere that she was a big Husker Du fan. This is Emily here, and Amy is over there in the background against that tree. Anyway, a great, great act. An American band from that little town in Georgia, famous for REM and the B-52s, just to name 2 bands. Athens, Georgia. That is a great, great album. It was, of course, on the Epic label. And Strange Fire, Indigo Girls. About 2 weeks ago, I was thumbing through the stacks at another Fort Collins record shop. And I have been to the shop a few times in the past. I am going to make it a regular haunt because I've been pulling some great stuff out of this place, and it seems like lately, over the last 2 months, I've pulled out 3 or 4 really, really nice things that I've been looking for, which is always nice. And this was one of them. Chris Isaak, Heart-Shaped World. This is the '89 album that I originally had on CD. On that late '80s two-tone Reprise label, the turquoise and gold. This thing's in near mint condition. Go look on Discogs. You might be shocked. These things are going for about $100 and up. I got this at below Discogs median. The guy who runs this store is very, very fair. He cleans everything on an ultrasonic cleaner, and he really doesn't take anything in if it's not VG plus. He doesn't bother to purchase things off the street. So, man, I was really shocked to find this. I have never seen this in the wild. This is a great, great, great album. Of course, it's got that big MTV hit on it, Wicked Game. That thing was all over MTV, I remember, back in the day. Back when MTV played music videos. Anyway, that is Chris Isaak. This guy's voice is like a warm knife through warm honey. Let's go with that. Chris Isaak, Heart-Shaped World, 1989, an OG pressing on Reprise. So, same shop, different week. I'm thumbing through the stacks, and this must have been karma. I needed some good karma because remember, I went to that Denver record show about 2 months ago now, and I ended up buying a counterfeit copy that probably was cut off of a CD. It can't be resold on Discogs. I'm stuck with it now. I think I'd spent $30 on it. And that was a counterfeit version of this album, Meat is Murder. This is the OG US pressing on that familiar Sire label. This thing sounds fantastic. Really happy to have that. So yeah, good karma all around, I guess. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that counterfeit thing. Maybe I'll try and float it on eBay. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that. But super, super pumped to find this. I never see Smith's albums anywhere. And that was just kind of turned up one day in this shop. So I'll be visiting this shop weekly from here on out. Trust me. I saw Morrissey in Denver 2 years ago now, before the pandemic. And remember, my wife and I were really pissed. He was promoting a covers album. He did play, some great Morrissey solo stuff, but he only played one Smith song, only one. Can you believe that? I went online, and there's a long, long, long history of people complaining about Morrissey concerts and the lack of Smith songs in his set list. But anyway, I do have this, and this was a very, very fun day when I found this in the stacks. Found another Robin Hitchcock album, his very first solo album after Soft Boys. That is, of course, Black Snake Diamond Roll. How do you pronounce that? Black Snake Diamond Roll. Anyway, this is a fantastic album. It kind of bridges the sound spectrum from kind of cutting-edge post-punk Soft Boys moving into the more jangly pop era that Robin started up with the Egyptians albums. This thing sounds incredible. He does have two of his Soft Boys bandmates, the bass guitar player Matthew Seligman, unfortunately passed away during COVID. And he's got Morris Windsor on drums on most of these songs. Thomas Dolby has a guest appearance on keyboards. Great, great, great album. This thing sounds really, really nice. Again, I do see an occasional Robin Hitchcock album out there, but I've never seen this one. On the Relativity label, um, really, really, really great sounding and in basically near mint condition. Super pleased to have this as well. I will make a note here. You know, you can see that this has got a barcode on it. A little more research on Discogs. This album came out in 1981, I believe, in the UK. This is a 1986 US reissue, but again, never see this out there. Really, really happy I found it. Last but not least, one of the prototypical, if not the original outlaw country album, that of course is Willie's Shotgun Willie. I have been looking for a clean copy of this album for years. This is an original press on that Atlantic label. It's a Monarch press, Monarch stamp. The Monarch pressing plant in Los Angeles was known for their incredibly great sounding pressings. I don't know what kind of vinyl they were using, but if you ever find things from the 70s, look for Monarch presses. Just a little tip. Usually with an MO, and they had an MR with a little circle around it stamped in the dead wax. Monarch pressings. Don't forget it. Anyway, yeah, this is, this includes Whiskey River, many, many other fantastic songs. Shotgun Willie, the lead track on side 1. Slow Down, Old World. Stay All Night, Stay a Little Longer. A Bob Willis tune that Willie covered. This is an iconic country album. Needs to be in your collection if you appreciate 1960s and 1970s OG country, the best of the best. That is Shotgun Willie. You know, I've seen 2 copies of this in the wild over the last 2 or 3 months, and they were both beat up, and they were way, way, way overpriced. I got this for under $35, which is a steal. If you look this up on Discogs, OG pressings of this in VG Plus, which this is, go much higher. So super pleased to find this. Last but not least, about a month ago, Mobile Fidelity, you know, they have these intermittent emails where something is back in press or back available. And I loved the 89 comeback album from the B-52's Cosmic Thing, and managed to pick up the silver label. So the silver Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab means that it's not an original master recording. They didn't use, or they didn't have access to, the master tapes. So this could be some kind of a digital cut or a secondary source cut, but I'm sure it's going to sound great. I have not opened this yet and gave it a listen, but really happy to add this to the collection. You know, this included all those great songs. Cosmic Thing, Rome, great Kate Wilson lead vocal on that, I believe. Channel Z was a great song. Love Shack. This was an iconic B-52's Return to Form. I have number 6133. So these were numbered, or are numbered. I don't know how many eventually are going to be pressed, and I can't remember how long it's been out there, but was happy to get an OG Mobile Fidelity album at the standard price, which is not easy to do these days unless you're really on top of things and know how to rapid order when you get these emails. Or an Instagram post or whatever it is. So that's that. That is Cosmic Thing, the 89 release. This is the Mobile Fidelity Silver Label release. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned because the next thing I have coming soon, I'm going to be taking a look at some new music. I'm going to look at the highly anticipated Red Hot Chili Peppers album. I just received my limited edition gatefold pressing or copy in the mail from Acoustic Sounds. I'm a little bit upset because the album came out over a week ago, and I only am receiving it here today, over a week later, past the release date. Kind of pissed me off, but I am in the process of I'm in the middle of listening to that album, and I have some thoughts that I'm going to be sharing with you all. And then I have another new album released in 2022 that I'm going to talk about as well. Stay tuned for that. And that's it for the teaser. If you like today's video, please subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. It can help me reach new people who maybe are just getting back into vinyl and they need to learn more. And the University of Vinyl is the source that they need to find. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Have a great day.